This video is for anyone who's not tried mechanical disc brakes before. And the title is Cycling, a Great Way to Keep Fit Unless Your Brakes Fail Totally. Because I've had mechanical brakes for like a year and a half or something. My old bike had rim brakes and I switched to this. And 3 times they've totally failed completely. And of course it's exactly when you want them. Like when you're going down a steep hill in the rain, but it's really icy outside and both your brakes fail. Like you, I thought mechanical brake pads worked on magic fairy dust, but it turns out they're just little rim brake pads that clamp down on that, like these cheap resin ones, and that spring holds them together, the tension. There's a spring there holding them in, and they sort of go like that. So they're really just rim brakes, really. Apparently if you use them a lot they can overheat, or the pad can just vanish if you use them a lot, and you can't see. Google Bard said something about, and if you use them a lot, the liquid can overheat, but I think they're talking about hydraulic ones. Apparently these are all common knowledge. Well, not to me, they're not, So for me the issue is they've been locked up just when I need them the most, like going down a very steep hill in the rain. Mine, the performance seemed to deteriorate on wetness, possibly even worse than rim. I don't know actually. But I don't maintain them well on that, so I can't totally blame them. But the worst thing is when they just lock up. And for me, I can't replicate it here. I tried, but what that means is you're going like that, you're pulling really hard just when you need it the most, and then it's suddenly like the cable snapped. It just bang, it comes out, and you've got nothing at all. So I'm just saying to Joe Public and that, if you've not had these before. The first time it happened I was out on a really cold, icy day, and I was using my brakes all the time. And then suddenly it just went. Every time I tried it, it just went. First the front one went, then the back one as well, on the ice. And really, I didn't know what to do. I just walked home, really. When I checked, it looked as if my pads had really come down, because these are cheap pads. But I don't know if that was the reason. I don't know if it was overheating. I don't know what exactly overheats is at this, or whether this was becoming smooth or something. I don't know, but for that day they just totally collapsed completely. Then a second time was in the summer on a wet day. I could feel my pads were probably deteriorating anyway, and I hadn't moved that in. You're supposed to move that in if there's, your pad's rubbing away. You might go clockwise here. But yeah, then I went down a hill in the rain, and I couldn't stop it. But again, my brake just totally went as if the cable had snapped, just as I was trying to pull the most power. And I had to stop with my feet, and I was pretty lucky. And then the third time again, I was going down a big hill in sort of wet weather. I don't know if people know where Gartmore is, and it's near Aberfoyle, and I was going down the Gartmore Hill, which is the main street really, and again, it was like my cable had snapped, and I was really lucky that time. So, because at the bottom of the hill it's a T-junction, so I had to straight in the wall and right over. So my message is, by all means, keep fit in mechanical disc brakes, but remember you could be killed at any moment. Here's my Gartmore brake pads. I see that the spring snapped, so is this the one that spring snapped? Yeah, it snapped a bit, just at the top there. So I don't know whether maybe one of them wasn't coming in when I was holding it. But one of them looks well going. That was only about 3 months. I think, or is it this one? Well, these were cheap ones, so I can't. I think this one looks more faded. Yeah, but I thought I was a goner. Actually, this is the spring, so it snapped. I mean, I was using them all the time at that time, because it's hilly. But yeah, you could die and all that, But just for Joe Public again, mechanical disc brakes are basically rim brakes hidden, you know. There's a spring holding them in place. I suppose putting a bit of tension so they both come in. I don't know if hydraulic brakes are safer, you know. I was, like I say, I was reading Google Bard there. Said something like the liquid can boil if you use them too much or something. I don't know if they're talking about hydraulic. I don't think there's any liquid in the mechanical ones, but yeah, these are just rim brakes, really, guys. But I suppose the big advantage of rim brakes is at least you can see when they're deteriorating and they sort of go down gradually. I mean, I don't remember having this fault on rim brakes. Just they suddenly go. You know, it's as if your cable snapped just when you need it. That's the thing that was the most scary, really. So I'm going to look after these a lot better, but I don't know if that's inevitable because I don't know what factor caused it. I don't know if it was overheating or if it was because Google Bard says that if you do use your brakes a lot, you should maybe vary them between the front and back. You know, give them a rest. I mean, the front one is your main brake. On my rim brakes, I didn't use the back at all. I just kept it as a safety thing. But on these ones, I have found that I'm using both of them. So I'm using them more naturally. But yeah, beware that sudden, as if your cable snapped, brake disaster thing. I'm starting to take a spare set with me now. Apparently, according to Google Bard, there's 3 types of mechanical pads. Resin, which these are, metal, and hybrid of the two. So I don't know. Someone mentioned rubber as well, but I don't know. But I don't know if resin they go from low quality, high quality, or whether they're always low quality or what. You know, the ones I'm buying are cheap, ultra cheap. So I'm guessing these are ultra low. But it feels like these go quicker than rim brakes. You know, I don't know if that's just because rim brakes are bigger or what. But what I do anyway is, as the brake pad's fading, or I think it's fading, I tighten this in clockwise until it's touching really, or the wheel's not moving, then I'll come out a bit, and until the wheel's moving freely, and it's still tugging there a bit of drag. That's another thing I find when I have one of those moments, I feel I need to turn this in, but I end up it's touching the brake rim all the time. But that's the way I get home because I don't trust it any other way. You know, I'm sure that's wrong. I don't know if that just means my pads are done. But then I come out a bit, then it's moving freely now, I think. No rubbing. Maybe a tiny bit. Then I'll check I mean that I think I can get stronger on the shifter there. Maybe pull the cable up a bit. That's pretty good. That's a new one in there. Usually I would do this on the floor with the bike upside down, but I'll just show you here for educational purposes. Or how not to. Right guys. Yeah, once you get used to them, they're really easy to understand. I'll loosen the cable here. It's a bit ox. Yeah, that's got a little bit you need to line up and all that. It's a bit ox when you're outside. Cut. Yeah, there's a bit of fidgeting. You take this out. Auntie. All I do is a brake pad there. Take the spring out. That just slides it. Then you sort of fidget. Cut. I remember now it comes out there, that one does, and that makes space for the other one. So yeah, see, I'm just keep fidgeting. Yeah, I got it via fidgeting. I make space for the other one. See, they're quite new. I just noticed a little Allen key adjuster, you know. I think I'm going to start using that. Maybe that's to sort of match up the tension or something, you know, because I know they have them in rim brakes. So be wary, guys. Be wary. I'll put this side in first. I don't know what's right, but I feel that you've got to go through this. I can't see any other way. And that top bit. As I say, I wouldn't do all this normally. I would upside down. Sorry for the heavy breathing and that, you know. Back around. So they're in good nick, you know. They should be. They've only been used a couple of times. There's that thing pointing through. That's it, really. Almost. The spring sort of keeps them together. Oh. I'll get it in a minute, guys, alright? Well, I had it click into place, hopefully. So that'll do me for just now. Anyhow, my main message is mechanical disc brakes just sort of go as if you've snapped them. I don't know if this is the right way. There's one side cleaner than the other. No, I can't really. I don't think it makes a difference either. Yeah, as I was saying, I'll try the other way, just seems to be fitting funny. No, that goes through as well. Don't let your brakes just suddenly, as if the cable's broke. Don't let that put you off. Just as it happens at Garmore Hill or wherever big hill of your choosing. Yeah, I'm getting too far here. I should put the wheel back on so I can get it right. Yeah, just looking at the wheel, you know, I don't know if you're meant to, well, you're meant to clean them with alcohol or something, not with oil or anything like that, you know, because you'll make it slippier. In a way, this is why I bought a new bike, you know, for disc brakes, but it's been a bit of a shock to me. I wouldn't normally do this like that, you know, I would turn the bike upside down, so, but yeah, apart from that, they're good. You know, well, in dry weather anyway, I don't know what wet weather it feels as if it goes a bit, but I don't know if that's poor maintenance by me or cheap pads and all that, you know. God, I just wanted to point that out, that conundrum. So here, I'm going to go until it's rubbing against the rim thing. Don't do that. So that the pads are close to each other. I think it's starting to rub a bit now. Yeah, so I'll go out a bit now. Just enough so they're not rubbing. Yeah, I hope I've got these springs right. I don't know. Oh, no, I've not put a cable on, but it doesn't matter actually. Yet. Yeah, sometimes your cable just is as if it's snapped. So be on the lookout for it. So I don't know if metal ones would help. I might try them, you know. I might try expensive ones eventually. Just to see if I get that through. Yeah, I have. Usually I pull this up a bit, you know. Something like that. Then tighten. But I've probably not got it right at all. It's touching. I need to take that out of it, I think. Could be the cable's too tight. I mean, that's quite good here, but this is floating in the air, isn't it? It's ET ready, as I would say. No, I think it's still rubbing a bit. It's not going as quick as I'd think it could. You get the idea. I could probably pull this pin out, which I don't think you're meant to, but it's maybe going a sort of a gap in there. Have I got it the right way? I think I've got it in the right way. The one fits in. There's a hole in that pad and there's a hole in that pad, you know? Anyway, I'm taking a cheap spare set just in case. We'll look at the Gartmore incident ones one more time. So that had broken one of the springs. Maybe that meant one of them wasn't touching so good. I don't know. But my cable just gave way, as if there was nothing there. So there's the steering. That was after 2 or 3 months, but it was hard going, you know, a lot of it was steep hills and stuff. So, yeah. There's the ones I had before that. I mean, that one's scrap, totally bare. And that one seems alright. So maybe I'm adjusting them wrong. Maybe it's that little barrel, that little Allen key adjuster I showed you has something to do with it. It's worth paying attention. But anyway, mechanical disc brakes are just rim brakes hidden away. They'll get their own little wheel. So take care if you want to keep living. Make sure you don't have that brake failure thing that I've had 3 times, where the brake just totally collapses in your hand, and not literally, as if the cable snapped. That's what I mean. So look out for that. You know, I don't know if hydraulics don't have that problem, but you don't want it to happen. All right. Thumbnail time. Most important part.